Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is the weekend workout where we invite you to play with your strength. We have our own body weight. We have our open space here. And with excellent instructions from Lauren and convoluted instructions from me, we'll start today's practice. I like to start with the feet and then work towards the hands. With those feet in parallel, let's pull the heel off the ground to the balls of feet or demi-point, then to the toe point, then flex over. From here, that rainbow will trace that lateral border of the foot, pinky side first, connect through the heel. Let's go out to the side now first. Out to the lateral on that big pinky border, then towards that demi-point, pull, adducting or slurping back to center, and then push the foot forward to extend the hip. Alternate side. Pull the heel up, having that mid-arch trace center, then transition towards that lateral border of the foot. Roll down, articulate that border down into center, and then out to the side, a little bit of that sickled ankle shape, and then pull across, knee towards midline, push the foot forward and down. From there, one more time each, we'll go up to the demi, out to the lateral, roll around nice and control. And then once we're in, we'll smoosh out. Keep that big toe down, that's a tough one. And then pull the knee back to center and down. Last time this side, so pull the heel up, trace center. Then reach out to that side, connect that lateral border of the pinky side foot to center. And then last one, we'll roll out through the sickled ankle to our straight foot, push down to grow tall. With the palms facing forward, extend the wrists just like in that handstand. Then scoop, flexing on the wrist. Then bend on the elbow. Then extend on the wrist, keeping the elbows tight at first, and then extend again. This time, quarter turn those fingertips out to the side. Start with a scoop, rounding or flexing the wrists, and then palms to the floor. Gently lift those arms towards the side wall. Nice and control. Lauren's feeling pretty good here. I'm feeling pretty energized across those elbows. So from that position, we'll flex the wrists and bring the hands back down. One more time. Fingertips reach down to the ground, extending on the wrist. Those armpits stay low. Reach towards those side walls. Flex the wrist and bring it down. Those feet and those hands, they're those takeoff and those absorption pieces of that handstand. So let's continue to build that strength that way.
We're going to come to the floor. To get down, let's start with our forward fold today. With our feet underneath us, gently reaching our head up towards the ceiling, and then tucking our chin and rolling ourselves forward, imagining there's that wall in front of us and that wall behind us as we pull ourselves down. Hang out in that low position there. Knees might have a slight bend, maybe you straighten one, bend the other. Take a breath while you're here. And then slowly make your way down to the floor to all fours. We'll warm up our wrists in a more quadruped position. So from all fours here, our hands are under our shoulders and our knees are under our hips. There we go. And from here, we'll shrug our shoulders up into our ears so our blades shrug up. And then pull those blades down. Repeat one more time. Shrug your shoulders, I don't know, and then pull them down. Now let's do a little protract retract. That means press the floor away so your blades slide around and your back, I don't want to say arches because that's your spine, but it rounds a little bit. Now pull your blades together like you're pinching a pencil between them. And repeat again. Press the floor away, keep a neutral spine, but your blades will come around the sides. And then pinch your blades together. Now, find a neutral position for those blades, pulling them down. Elbows are straight with those elbow pits forward. From here, let's let our shoulders drift towards over our fingers. And then use our fingers to press ourselves back. And repeat again. Pull on the floor so our shoulders drift forward. And then press ourselves back, trying to keep those elbows straight. Press so much you flick the floor away and shake it out. We'll do a quarter turn, prepping those wrists for a little bit of a handstand. Bailout is needed. With our fingertips facing sideways, they'll come down. Then the palms. And right here, our shoulders should be packed out of our ears, our elbows forward and straight. From here, push your right fingertips into the floor and you'll go to the left. And then push your left fingers into the floor and you'll go to the right. Repeat that a couple times using your fingers to press you each way, feeling how that'll help your handstand directions. Once you come to center, peel those palms away and fingers flick. Nice, we'll take a little breath break and come back to that in a second.
Right on. We almost said we'll skip the breath, but we'll do a breath break.
Oh,
I like it.
You said breath.
From the tall kneel, if possible, put one hand belly and one hand on that chest. Take a big sniff in through the nose, filling the belly, looking to expand. Exhale, pulling the belly in. Repeat again for room. Exhale, pulling that belly into spine. Let's repeat that effort twice in the chest now. Belly stays tight. Breath in. And then slow exhale. Little extracurricular noise out there, just checking it out. Belly to spine. Big breath into the chest. And then exhale. Sorry. Shake that out for a second. The final breathing drill here for today, we'll take 10 really quick breaths. We'll take a big breath in, and then for 10 extra breaths, those really quick sniffs, followed by a nice, slow exhale. So hand, belly, hand, chest. Take one big breath in, the belly can expand. And then an exhale, pulling that belly button to spine. Now with belly to spine, take one big breath in, and then 10 more. And slow the exhale. Right on. Might sound a little sniffly there, and that's all right. Fill it up. All right, that's our breathing drills for today.
Let's come to our kneeling lunge here. Front foot moves to the front. Surprise, surprise. And we're in that kneeling position. With your hands on your hips, let's gently tilt our tailbone to the ceiling or slightly arch that low back. And then tuck the hips under by squeezing that back butt cheek. Repeat again. Tail tilts to ceiling, and then tail tucks under. And one last time, tail tilts to ceiling, and then tail tucks under. From here, let's hike that outside hip, and then pull it down. And hike it, and pull it down. And one last time, little lift up, and pull down. So right now we have level hips on the horizon, and level hips tucked a little bit. Let's push down on the floor and pull. As we drift forward just a little bit, extending that back hip. The knee might drift towards over the toe. And then push down on the floor and press away, bringing you back up to tall, tall, tall. Extending that back hip through. Nice. Today we'll heel toe that leg open, but then we'll straighten it out. So it's on this out to the side. And right now my full foot is on the floor if allowed. From here, I'm going to push my hips back and hinge so my hands find the floor. Let's keep that full foot down for now, but tilt our tailbone to the sky. Now, keeping that nice long spine, could you sit back or rock back a little bit? And then again, pull on the floor, pulling yourself forward. Now, keep that tailbone long, but let's change our foot. We'll come to the instep of the foot, so the lateral border will come up, and then we'll rotate it on our heel so our inseam faces forward. From there, with the tailbone long and that inseam up, let's gently rock back again. And then pull on the floor, rocking forward. And one last time, tailbone stays long as we press back. And then pull ourselves forward. We'll put that whole foot down again. Press the floor away. Safely bring the leg doo-doo-doo-doo back through to center. Pull it underneath. And we'll repeat on the other side. Knee comes up into that front lunge position first. Hip tucks under, and then tail tilts to the ceiling. Right now we're tucking that back hip by squeezing that back butt cheek, and then letting it go tail tilt. And last one, tailbone tucks under, keeping that hip tucked, back cheek squeezed. Now lift a hip, and then pull it down. And lift a hip, and pull it down. And one last time to hike and pull down. Back to that level position with the back cheek extended. Push down and pull on that floor, and again, we'll drift forward. As we drift, make sure those shoulders are staying over top of your hips. Now, once you get to that position, press forward to press yourself back all the way to tall. Keep squeezing that back butt cheek. You should feel some loving going on in that front hip. Now, heel toe the leg out to the side. Extend it out straight, full foot on the floor. Push your hips back, tilting your tailbone to the ceiling as your hands find the floor. If you feel like the floor is too far and you're getting in this hunchback position, prop up a couple books or something underneath your hands. With that tailbone long, could we rock back again, feeling that adductor stretch there? Yeah, a little different on this side for me. And then rocking forward. And then this time we took the outstep of our foot up, meaning the instep stays down. We rotated on the heel so that the inseam was forward in external rotation, kept the tailbone long, and gently rocked back again. Taking a breath. It's also good for those back toes, which are probably tucked underneath. And then we'll rock forward, put that whole foot down, gently press the floor away, bring the leg in underneath, and we're gonna stay on the floor. So stay down here.
Here we go. Rolls and reaches. Let's return to those wrists for right now. With those all fours positions, slowly start to use your hands and press yourself towards one side. So if I started in center, I'm using those hands of mine to reach towards the right.
Where?
Once you're at your end range,
like all the way
breathe,
over?
wherever all the way over is for you. Then return through the hands, push through the hands, really sell that hand feature here as we go from one side towards the other, and maybe there's more range on one side than the other. When you're at your end range, just take a big breath in and exhale. That one more time each here. Accept the floor with those hands, and it looks silly, I know, but really think about those hands driving this action. I can get a little further that second time. Take a breath in, exhale, and then one last time to even things out, use those hands, push the fingertips through the floor, and here's our last reach and roll towards this side. And then return to center, and then like Lauren's instructed, use those hands to press ourselves up. Now, let's get on our back. From here, we'll assemble ourselves like a T, and I'll take one hand, depending on your space, take one of your arms and reach it towards your hip. Then reach it towards the ceiling. Reach and roll from this supine or on your back's position to prone or face down. Take the opposite arm. Look at it as you reach towards the hip. And then roll across the body back to the T. Same idea, other direction. So I take that same arm that just worked and I move it towards my hip. Reach it across my body, roll to the front side. Then look at the other arm, sweep it towards the hip, reach it long and away, returning to your back side. Same combinations of movement with the legs. For this, I'll take my left leg, bending at the knee and hip, straighten it out, let it fall across. Same arm as leg, sweeps to the hip, rolls to our front, and then bend the other leg, extend the hip, reaching and rolling to the ceiling, ending up on your back. Then the knee bends, hip bends, leg straightens to say hello to those hamstrings. Eagle over style across the body, the arm sweeps the hip, we end up face down, and then the knee bend, the hip extend, the roll towards our backside. Love those rolls. From here, let's return to all fours. With one hand across the chest, or with that other hand turned up at the side. Now let's take a little bit of that reaching roll, looking through the window, trying to connect the shoulder to the floor. Take a breath, push through, back to all fours, other side, same thing. So hand across chest, or as Lauren's doing, with the hand turned up at the hip, reach, roll, take a breath, and push through. If you know what's coming next, feel free to do it. Take your time as you nice and slow reach and roll and through. And if space allows, the extension again is to look through the window, press through the floor, roll to that nice tall sit. Practice 1 or 2 more repetitions. There you go. Last 1 or 2 there. Have nice and fun in that roll. And again, mobilize that spine to twist, turn, but also to stay nice and strong. It's not on that menu board, Lauren, but I think we should do some hollow holds, don't you think? Yeah.
All right, let's lie on our backside. Okay, from our back position here, let's establish our hollow position before we get into the fancy stuff. With your feet planted on the floor, knees bent, arms out to the side, chin tucked. Right now, think about your midsection. Is your low back rammed into the floor? No, good. Is your low back really arched off the floor? No, good. We have that neutral spine. Let's keep that position, thinking about supporting it from 360 degrees. Now from here with our arms extended, we're going to connect our ribs, hips by lifting our head and shoulders up off the floor. Ready, set, lift head and shoulders. As you did that, did the tension on the floor from your low back change? The correct answer is no. If you need to reset, go ahead, but we're holding by bracing the core and connecting those ribs to hips. Can you hear me shaking already? 3, 2, and then relax. Let's repeat that again. Maybe that's where you stay, but we'll add some add-ons if you'd like to join. Again, connect ribs, hips, maintaining that neutral spine. Then pull the legs up so they leave the floor and your knees are towards over your chest. You could stay here, or we could extend one leg and pull it back to center, and then extend the other leg and pull it back to center. We could continue that, or we could extend both legs and hold. And then if we wanted to add on even more, we could reach both arms overhead and hold this hollow shape. Our hands breathing, maintaining that tension, squeezing your butt, keeping that connection, ribs to hips. 4, 3, 2, pulling back to center, and gently relax. Nice.
All right. Hollow holds for the win. Let's return to that kneeling position, but no hands required for this time. Tuck those toes, take your toes that might be tucked, point them, and as Lauren's showing there, sit on the heels. Using your glutes, extend those hips to the tall position, and then tuck the toes. With the floor or without, transition to the balls of feet, and from there, stand up nice and tall. Reset heels to the floor. Go knees over toes, towards those toe tips as we sink low. Extend those hips through, knees touch to tall, point those toes, nice and control, down. Again, we'll extend those hips through, tuck the toes, transition to the toe tips, hang out for a second longer, and then stand up nice and tall and reset. There we go.
Nice.
Time to go to the zoo, folks.
Elephants first.
Nice.
We'll use our forward fold again, and we're going to get down into a A-frame shape, a down dog, a elephant position, whatever you'd like to call it. Tucking your chin, rolling yourself forward. Take your time. Remember those panes of glass behind and in front of you. Try to smush between them. Take a breath when you're down here. And then we'll bend our knees, tilt our tail long towards the ceiling as we walk our hands out. Our feet will step to about hip width apart. Right now I have my knees slightly bent so that I can really tilt my tail to the ceiling. I'm going to try to keep that tilt as I gently straighten my knees. And then from here, if I want to add on, I'd take a step opposite hand and foot. Stepping at the same time, trying to keep that long spine, not rounding or arching that low back. Using my hands to push the floor away and absorb, just like we do in our handstand. Breathing, trying to get those heels towards over the floor, but prioritizing that low back doesn't round. Last couple steps. And then once you're done, let's press ourselves back up and unfold. So that means stacking one vertebrae at a time, pulling that belly button in and all the way up to tall. Nice.
And then we'll open that squat stance. Turn those feet out, narrow or wide, your choice. Push your feet into the floor. If that's the handstand, push down through the hands to grow up tall. So with the feet heavy, the knees stiff, the glutes squeezed, slowly switch as the pull together. Fire up those adductors. Continue that pull, nice and control. Doesn't matter how low you get. And from wherever you are, we'll spend about 15 seconds here to breathe, to shift some weight, to do some hula hooping or something similar here if you wanted. But ultimately, build endurance, build time under tension, return to center, press down to tall. Never seen a squat exhibit, but a lot of animals might be squatting at that zoo. Next is
the lizard.
The lizard.
This time, instead of folding, let's use our hinge to get to the floor. With your feet in hip width position, press your hips back, loading up hamstrings and glutes. Shin should remain vertical for a second. Feel that load, and then let's tip forward, and we're going to walk ourselves out to our high plank position. Hands under shoulders, hips up, toes tucked. From here, take a single foot, let's lift it, and try to bring it up towards the same side hand. Once you're there, think about sending energy out that front knee and out the back heel, really scissoring yourself away from center. Now pull the tension back towards the midline, lift the foot, and place it back where you got it. Same thing other side, lift, place, hand beside foot, foot beside hand, and then reach out the back heel, shoot out the front knee. Keep those hips up. Now pull together, lift and switch. We'll try that one more time each side. Foot towards hand, pressing out that front knee, reaching out the back heel, and then bracing as we put that foot back. One last time, other side. Reaching away from that center, and then pulling back together. Try not to let those hips drop when you put that foot back. Lift the hips up, bend the knees, keeping the tailbone long, forcing those hips back to your hinge. Extend to tall. Nice.
Awesome. Challenging that squat a little bit extra, let's balance on one foot. So on a single foot, pull up towards that coup de pied or ankle position. From here, 3 or 4 repetitions. Let's just take our time as we descend in that squat. Hang out, looking around. It'll be a little bit tougher yet again. And then extend that hip through. Nice and slow, nice and control. We'll go knees over toes. Maybe take a look the other way. And extend. And for our last repetition, stay tight, stay strong, and stand. Little shake. Let's repeat that on the other side. Looking for time under tension and always prioritizing our control. Knee over toe. For me, I have to slurp into center. What about you? Hang out and then extend that hip. Pull yourself low and don't discount the value of that added knee bend on that elevated leg. Extend the hip through. For the final one, I'm going to spend a little bit longer down here and I'll look over towards the right and then maybe back to the left. And that's visually challenging there. And extend the hip through. Shake it out. Last weekend at Lauren's request, what about the crow, she said. I think that sounds like fun. So the last zoo exhibit for today will be us returning to the apiary. Ooh, I might have got that wrong. No, that's bees.
Aviary.
Aviary. I don't know. Let us know. Let us know in that comment section if we're right or wrong. But this is Lauren's crow as she describes it here.
Hands go on the floor. I'm up on my tiptoes. I'm going to get my knees as close to my armpits as I can. Then I'm going to gently lean forward. We're doing a bent elbow crow. Straight level is straight elbows, next level. Up to those high elbow pits. And we'll slowly think about loading up. Maybe you lift one foot. You lift another foot. You lift both feet. And you feel that weight through the fingertips, the hands, the callus line, finding you balance. And then use that to press yourself back.
That squat is creeping in that practice here.
Tricep burn.
Do the same thing. So we'll pull ourselves down, setting up fingertips, calluses, and full hands. As Lauren said, you want to nestle those knees on those triceps really close to those elbows. And from there, transfer your weight. Point your toes, breathe and balance, and play with your strength here. Like an animal. Never seen a crow do this, but I'm down. 5 more seconds or less.
Maybe it's because they make
And
that
then
sound
through.
when you get out of it.
Oh, there are some sounds when we enter and dismount some of those handstands. Let's try that one more time. Nice progressions for that again could include going on that tall box of choice and just really trying to work on getting those hips up to the elbows. So from an elevated surface or even from standing, can we find a way to flex, balancing in, to flex through the hip, looking good there, Lauren, flexing the hip, trying to get that knee towards elbow. Breathing, finish like you could do it again. Awesome stuff. And stand. And last one here, same thing.
Another good progression is just back to that lizard curl again, getting the foot up towards the hand, finding that hip mobility. Seeing how, or taking it to a brand new level. Anyway. Okay, good. We'll work on that next time.
Having fun with that.
Kick-ups.
Kick-up time.
Kick-up time.
Do you have room to kick up? If so, we'll practice those baby airs first. Lauren goes first with a tripod kick-up entry. And for us, standing off to the side, maybe just stand on that one foot. Repetitions of some single leg squats, but cue us through your kick-up there, Lauren.
Oh, I'm talking. With my hands underneath my shoulders, I'll line up my shoulders over top of my hands, lifting my hips. And then I'm going to take a single leg to kick up. I am going to scissor down, so alternating which leg kicks up and which leg lands. Taking your time, breathing, and just finding how much kick up you're going to need or not need today.
There you go.
Whew.
Amazing little kick-ups right there. So that's our tripod entry. I prefer that step-in entry. So this would be a full repetition. Join me or watch and we'll have some nice progressions. To kick up, watch the over in and then kick through. So I did too much. So let's just scale things back and do just a little bit. Little baby air here, weight transfer, push through. Try to switch feet, nice and control, push through. As you gain that confidence, look for a little bit more air time or hang time. Stiffen the elbows, accept the floor. And I'll go one more repetition here. Trying to find that right weight to return to tall.
Nice.
And our shake. Lunge stance. We'll build on this skill as we go through today's practice. On 2 feet, those knees over toes. Little squat plie. And straighten out the front leg and extend through. Then, from here, stiffen the front leg. Check. Bend the back leg so that the quads line up. The hips will still be on top of those feet right now. So with the shoulders. Push through the back leg, transition to the toe in the back if allowed, and then accept the floor, toe ball heel in the back, keep the front leg straight, and from here, head, hips, shoulders on top of those feet, push off the back leg one more time. Accept the floor in the back from the toes to the ball to the heel, the back leg bends, that front leg is pulling down into the floor, and then push off the back, extend, assemble together. Repeat to the same effort on the other side. That is a leg out front, and then transition between 2 feet and get nice and square like Lauren had us in the warm-up. Safely, slowly stiffen the front leg, bend the back knee, and nice and control, sit. And then load up off that back leg, pushing forward. 2 more, we go toe ball, heel in the back. Nice and control, flexing on the knee and ankle down low. Shoulders, head, and hips stacked. And then push off, forward. And last one, toe ball, heel in the back. Nice and control. Breathe, push off the back. Extend, assemble, and shake. Another time on those kick-ups. So Lauren again will try that tripod entry, and I will be trying the step in.
Are you going at the same time?
No, same thing here. So Lauren again sets up really beautifully with those shoulders over top of wrists, looking for that nice kick up, finding that beautiful line right there. Breathing in between, maybe one side is stronger than the other, and that's all good. Do something that's harder to make something that's easier even better. Nice little split there, nice hold. Gripping the fingers to the floor. Not sure if you can see it on the camera there, but they are white. There we go. Nice and control to tall.
Whoops. One more, I gotta end on a good one.
As much as you can. I didn't want to say it. Finish on a good one though. Nice and control. There you go. Nice. We'll get that here. Okay, so same efforts for the last time on kick-ups.
As you enter in a kick-up like Ian does here, making sure you're extended or reaching up right away to the ceiling with those elevated shoulders like you will be when you're in your handstand. And then as well, trying to maintain that hollow body position. So not getting archy in that low back and reaching towards noon on the clock. Nice. If you're afraid of going over, kicking too much, if you leave that single leg back there, you'll never go head over tea kettle.
That was 4 reps. Pretty happy with that. Modest numbers of reps so we can stay fresh and keep doing it. Let's progress that split stance. So we'll have 2 knees going forward and straighten 1, step between 2 feet. Safely stiffen that front leg at the knee. Bend, squat plie just like before. But now the hips will stay underneath the feet, but the shoulders and head go back. We're connecting that rib cage to hips, so it's a little bit of a forward crunch as we extend those hips back, load up off the back leg, push through. One more time on this side. Toe, ball, heel, knee bends. Lauren's shape again is A+. Let's go for A++ for this time, and the ribs go this way to the hips as we lean back and then load up off that back leg, pushing through and assembling together. The leg we just moved could go right to the front if the camera angle allowed, and then split between 2 feet. Slowly, safely stiffen that front knee, pull it down, bend the other leg, and then with those hips extending forward, ribs to hips to protect that lumbar spine, load up the hip, push off, assemble tall. Final one, toe, ball, heel, and nice and control, lean back, keep those hips extended, ribs to hips, take a punch, push off the back leg, assemble together, and shake. Awesome. Last week, Lauren had some of her best handstands to date, 40, 45 seconds, something like that. It is the drills that we'll do right here that add to that level of skill. Today, we'll start with 5 seconds in the center looking for freestanding handstands. Then we will progress towards 10 and 15. It's already 9:35. I can't believe how fast this has gone here.
But yeah, you're close.
8:35. And we're just gonna have some fun as we finish. If handstands aren't for you, repeat the crawls. Repeat those elephant crawls, the crow stands. Have fun with it as we look to hold 5. And down. Beautiful. Beautiful. So our number is, a low number is 5 seconds. What's yours at home? 1, 2, 3, as we go through these drills, are appropriate values as well.
So it's 1, 1, 2. I like to count like that sometimes too. But finding a balance, using the hands, pressing the floor away, keeping that hip tucked, and then always dismounting safe, whether it's from your elephant, your wall stand, your lizard, whatever you might be practicing.
Right on. And with just a little rest in between, is that something that you could try again? So Lauren will try here for 5 seconds again, setting it up just right. She has her routine, just like a sprinter in those blocks. She set the hands, she loads up and exhibits a beautiful looking handstand. And a split dismount. Very cool. So then Team Ian here, or the other group, let's also try for 5 seconds. Here I go in the kick-up version.
The kick-up. 5 seconds again, pressing that floor away, tucking under, reaching, growing tall, breathing while you're there, and then safe exit.
Awesome. Let's continue off of that split stance for one more time here today. We'll go knees over toes, single leg out front, and just stay right here. Ribs to hips, extend through. Are those hips level across the front, or are we twisted? For one more second, find square, push off the back, repeat one more time. It goes toe, ball, heel in the back with a safe, stiff front leg. Then the ribs to hip connection. It could take that punch as we extend and breathe, load up on that back hip, push through, assemble. Little hop, skip, a jump back, and same thing on the other side here. For me, that's that right leg in front, and extend those hips forward. That's a lot of work on this hip here. How's that feeling for you, Lauren?
Good.
And then extend through. One more time, accept that floor in the back, toe ball heel, pull in the front, extend those hips. Are they level? Just, are they level? Play with that, and then push off the back, assembling together. Give yourself enough rest. If you don't feel like you're ready to go, to try that 1-2 seconds or towards our 10, rest. Listen to your body, you know it best. But here, Lauren will be doing up to a 10-second hold. Over those 10 seconds, there's a lot to learn. What are the hands doing? Are you breathing? Ribs to hips, and nailing that toe point there, Lauren, looking great.
10.
Awesome. Add those friendly shakes, switch off with a partner, and be inspired by great work right there.
10 seconds here, reaching, pressing the floor away, breathing, but also just having fun and trying to figure it out too. I know, I get it.
Disappointed with that one, but I'm gonna let it go because Lauren's gonna do 10 seconds again, and then I'll be fresh for the next time. Don't rush in between sets. Take your time. Listen to your body and working hard there. The announcer's jinxed a little bit. There we go. Nice. So again, that toe point, the straight knees, the hollow body shape, and reaching low, driving so hard down to grow up tall. Again, Lauren, very well done. Let's see if we can channel some of that to have a successful finish.
Shaking it off in between and not talking because you don't want to do anything. You don't want to say anything. So you're just breathing. Good and growing. Nice.
There we go. There we go. You can't make all your free throws. You can't hit it all the time. But try to finish with control. Let's just continue that progressions off the single leg split stance variation. Let's go knees over toes. Let's get that leg forward and just stay here and draw that nice little circle towards the side. Is that inseam forward or as much as it could be, and then pull back to center, extend to tall. Let's reach out the back. Use that other leg first, so I'll be balancing on my right, and I'll reach to the back with that extended leg to the side. Then we'll go knee over toe, keeping the head, hips, and shoulders over top of the foot. Then turn open in that hip, reaching to the side, inseam forward, and then close it around the back and extend to tall. One is enough on those, I think. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Knee towards over toe, safe, stiff leg out to the front. Open that inseam as to face forward or that external rotation at the hip. Hold for a second longer. Close to the front, extend to tall. So use that leg that was lateral, reach back with the hip first, pointing the toe. Then it's a single leg squat. Open up in the hip, nice and control to the side. We have that external rotation of the inseam forward. And then turn the inseam under, reach to the back. Extend to tall. We went 5 seconds towards 10 and 15. We're hoping that you are able to go 1 second, 2 second, 3, or slowly with strength, adding the time under tension. So Lauren did the performance enhancing tip, the t-shirt tuck, sets up just right with her routine, and is looking for a 15-second inversion with the breath. You can hear it from here. What we can see is a toe point, the straight legs, the gentle, constant battle of that banana shape. Sue's doing so well to contain that here today. I'm not counting to 15, but I sure know she is. And those do not look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 seconds. That looks
It was so good.
like...
Sorry, I don't mean to do my own horn there.
Celebrate. Celebrate yourself. Yep.
I like to count to 5 3 times, but I just kept counting to 5.
That was a good one.
Thanks.
Okay.
Doesn't always happen.
So again, let's try to channel that. Lauren. Here we go.
It's like eating your own dessert and saying it's good, but sometimes it just really is good. All right. Taking your time, breathing, pressing, growing. I find one of the biggest lessons I learned with my handstand was how to use that weight shift in my hands to keep myself from going forward or back. And it's really hard, especially when you're trying to not go to home, to where you came from. Because you have to use your base of your hand to push yourself forward again.
What's a handstand without the hand?
Yeah.
It's just standing, right? You got to have those hands.
Feet stands.
Yeah, you got to have those hands to handstand. This will be our last repetition of our handstand. Trying to finish with strength. 15 seconds of work. Take your time, kick up accordingly, and feel what's going on. What you could feel is, again, fingertips rooting into the floor and driving down to point your toes up. The hollow body in the middle, nice engaged core to protect the spot. Ooh! Do it. Nice. Nice.
You had to do your extra crow, so I thought I'd throw that in there.
Well then, Lauren's setting the bar high here as we finish our practice. First, 15 seconds. And if we can get that, we'll try to add on. Really well done.
Whew.
You good?
Sorry, yeah, I'm just out of your way.
Good.
Nice. Breathing, enjoying, being happy with whatever airtime you got today. Because also just having fun and liking the handstand is a way that we'll do it and practice it more. Nice. Ian's getting into that tuck position and slow and controlled or control-ish.
We'll work on that. I'm on the floor. I'm going to enjoy it on the floor here. And I'm going to even get to the elbow until Lauren tells me to do something more aggressive.
Oh, I think this is a nice way to end today. So let's end in our 90-90 here. So from this 90-90 position, which is just 90 degrees at the knee, as well as at the foot in front, and then 90 degrees at the back leg, as well as at that foot, we'll find our side arm to the elbow. That elbow's about in line with that bottom hip. Take your top arm, swing your hair away, and then put it across your chest. From here, that bottom shoulder is packed. Our shoulders are right now stacked over top of each other, and our head's just in line with our body. Let's think about that back hip and extend by pressing it forward, squeezing your back butt cheek. With that top arm crossed across your body, take your head and look at your bottom elbow, and then take your shoulders and close towards your bottom elbow. Then take your head and look towards the ceiling, and then rotate your shoulders open. But as you rotate your shoulders open, keep extending your back hip forward. Take a breath. Then head looks back towards elbow. Shoulders look back towards elbow. And one last time with that hip still in extension, head rotates open. Shoulders rotate open. We breathe. Come back to a stacked position. Press the floor away. But now I'm going to give you rules to get to the other side, and then we'll move accordingly. Let's keep our shoulders square to the front, so we're square up over the front of that leg. With that, as much as you can, try to lift that back knee. Oh yeah, and hold. Now, let's add some more lift by allowing the upper body to start rotating. That leg will be allowed to lift more, but keep the other leg nice and heavy. And then once that other leg can't stay heavy anymore, it'll join us and we'll pass through that hungry bear position. Nom, 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 nom. From there, that leg will continue going to external rotation on the other side, and the other leg will come back in, and we'll end up in our 90-90 on the other side. Again, in that 90-90 position, we're going to find our outside elbow and that top arm across our chest. Bottom shoulder packed. Head looks at your elbow, and then shoulders rotate closed. And then head rotates open, shoulders rotate open, and that back hip is still extending forward. One more time, head rotates towards the floor, Shoulders close. Then head rotates open. Shoulders open, hip extends and breathes. Sorry, I got distracted with other thoughts. From here, we're going to press the floor away. And then we'll get to our hungry bear to finish up today. Same thing. Stay square forward with that upper body and then gently lift that back leg as much as you can. Hold that, feel that glute. And then when it can't go anymore, the upper body will rotate, allowing it to rotate more. And then when that other leg has to come with it, follow. Either from your hands behind you position or arms extended out front. Let's just hold this hungry bear for a couple seconds. We're driving those knees open with their own power, sitting up tall for 3, 2, and then gently relax at. Nice.
Awesome. Saturday mornings, they go by pretty darn quick, and we continue to have fun with our fitness and playing with our strength. So to our patrons, to our members, to those of you at large who again happen to catch that Twitter link, thank you so much for being here this morning, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.
Remember to like this video.
Like it, subscribe it, and check your inbox on Mondays for next week's link letter full of new classes in the archive, as well as new live classes all next week. I'm Ian.
I'm Lauren.
Thank you very much for joining. We continue to train with you so that we can stay strong with you, that we can take care with you, and we also hope to see you soon. Have a good day. Take care. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming.